Says it's for me. Intriguing. Flywoo Freestyle Racing Drone HD BNF PMP. But I've already got the Flywoo LR4 Explorer. What on earth could it be? So it says here, Flywoo Explorer Hex. So that is 6 motors, LR4 Vista/Nebula Pro BNF. So the Nebula Pro is the new camera from Cadex, and it's meant to be much closer to the DJI camera. Says here 4S, and it's got the Goku F745 Hex stack 16x16 V1. So that's the F7 flight controller this time, and it has got 7 spare UART, so that's much better than the LR4. Lots of stuff in here. Ooh, gift. It looks a little bit wider than a GoPro, doesn't it, that one? Intriguing. Okay, so we have got a shrink-wrapped hexacopter. We have got some blades. They are the durable 2-blade 4024 clear grey 2L2R props, the Hurricane from GemFan. We have got what looks like a 1.5mm hex screw. And then we have got this here, this little spanner socket. Some spare screws and standoffs. Looks like a little manual, but just of the Goku stack. Battery strap and some Flywoo stickers. Let's get it out of this wrap. Just look at this. It's the hexacopter version of the Flywoo LR4. And the frame is actually quite similar to the LR4, specifically this bit in the center here. I think it is the same. We've got the metal plates on the side here to keep the camera in, which worked very well with the DJI camera. It didn't produce any jello whatsoever. But this time we have got the Nebula Pro camera. Now don't worry, the previous Nebula cameras didn't prove to be very good. They were basically like an analog FPV camera being run through the DJI HD system, but the Nebula Pro, I hear, is much closer in terms of quality to the actual DJI camera. So I think the idea of having this Nebula Pro camera is to make the whole Vista setup cheaper than buying from DJI, so I'll have to check that out. Of course, with this hexacopter configuration, we are going to get the props in shot of the camera with these compared to the LR4, so that's going to be a downside. But we have got the hexacopter ESCs and an F7 flight controller with 7 spare UARTs, so there aren't going to be any issues adding extra peripherals and things like that. They've also improved the GPS lock, so with the LR4 I was struggling to get 6 satellites and it could take up to 20 minutes to get that, so hopefully we should be getting more satellites. I would hope 14. That's what I've been getting with the iFlight quads that have got a GPS system on there. The motors are the Dave C FPV 1404 2750 kV, so 6 of those this time. The frame here, it's not a unibody, individual arms underneath, and we have got the buzzer underneath as well for the lost model alarm, and also this attachment here for the TBS antenna. Then up here, what's this wire for, I wonder? It says red and black at VCC and ground. It's for the Insta360 One R Naked Edition. Now, I'm not sure which is going to come out first, so that might affect the order that I release these videos. So this mount here is for the Insta360 One R Naked Edition, and that sits up the top there, but we don't have any of the on-off controls. That's just the power for it. Okay, this is the setup. We've got the Radiomaster TX16S with the full crossfire module on the back. Then we have got the LR4 Hex, and this is the new naked Insta360 One R on the front, and I've got that plugged into the connector on the back. And this is an 850 milliamp 4S LiPo GMB. So I've just noticed what they've done with this GPS unit. You can see it's got copper wire all the way along it. So it seems like it's been getting noise from somewhere and giving a duff signal.
That's my chopper. It's well worn out, but I know what to do with it.
So you're doing your chores here, Phil?
Oh yeah. Household, well, not house, sheddy chores.
Shed chores.
I'm going to find a nice piece of firm wood. I'm going to grab hold of it lightly with my fingertips, position it. I'm just going to kiss it with the axe like that. And then you drop the whole thing at once, just stabilising a bit of wood with your fingers, but not under the blade.
I feel like there should be a song being sung.
Something to do with I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay.
Let's have a look at all your work that you've done. Look at all that work.
There's a bag of stuff, look at that.
Big workout Phil's done here.
It's minus 20 degrees Celsius and I'm sweating cups.
Okay, so I'm gonna plug the battery in. Wait for the gyro to calibrate. There we go. So to turn this camera on, it's a long press of this button here. The light comes on the back, and it's going to flash blue until it goes solid. There we go. And then the next button, single press, should start the recording. You can hear the speaker going again. Okay, let's go for a line of sight flight with this guy. Look at all of those propellers. Just in angle mode for now, just to see what it's like. If you can hear some crackling going on, it's because we have got the fire lit, ready for when my fingers go numb, which won't be long today. Okay, let's try acro. Oh, I love the sound of this. Oh, it's got more power than the quadcopter version, that is for sure. But they say you should still get 8 to 10 minutes on an 850 milliamp 4S battery. Which is interesting, isn't it? The one thing I had to do in the field as well is turn flip over after crash off, which I can do in the field because it's got Bluetooth built into it. I didn't mention that. Oh, that really has got some power to it. Yep, flies just like a quadcopter. Much more power, yeah. I think with that though, it's going to come shorter flight times for sure. I love the sound these bi-blades make. A little bit windy today, so hope you can hear me. It looks smart. So we've got the different coloured props on the front for orientation, but with today being a gloomy day, everything just sort of becomes a silhouette after a few feet. There's power loops though, and I have to say it is better for orientation than a quadcopter, especially with this frame design. I think the tune feels really nice, but no doubt Flywoo has worked with Dave CFPV again to get a great tune. Oh, I like this. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if we get the props in shot of the Insta360 One R camera at the front. I think so, perhaps. Maybe not on the 60 FPS option where the field of view is narrower. Oh, I just absolutely love this though. go for a bit of a power run. Wow. Yeah, that have really got some grunt. I suppose with the low camera angle though, you might not be using that. See what it's like. Slow down. Nice. Snappy. Who says you can't do freestyle with these long range quadcopters? I called it a quadcopter, it's a hexacopter. I knew I'd do that. Right, let's bring it in for a landing. So what's happened here, Phil? Bit of a heavy landing.
It's got the prop nuts on, no propellers. It's like the hub's shattered.
I've never seen that. Okay, let's go for a flight with the Flywoo Hex. Sounds like I've got somebody else following me. Oh, it is proper dull, isn't it? It is really dull. So this is with an 850 milliamp 4S. Be interesting to see how long it can fly for. I think they've knocked a tree down, Phil, over there.
I'm looking for that wingtip the other week, my Reptile 800. I'm thinking there's a massive tree stump here. Where'd the tree go?
Yeah. So, yeah, props are in shot. And got 11 satellites. That's much better than the LR4, the quadcopter version. So they've done something there. Definitely louder than the quadcopter version as well. Guess we've got more motors and things. And I know some of you will be thinking as well, my friend Phil just picked this up, but the arms are quite fragile with all of those struts. I don't plan on crashing today, but something to watch out for sure. But just checking out the tune. There's a little bit of a wobble there. Not too bad, but I do have the Insta360 One R naked camera on there, so maybe it's not tuned for that. We're coming up to 2 minutes and 15.1 volts. I've been throwing it around a little bit more. That's full throttle. Oh, and it goes into the 13s there. So yeah, I think you're going to get a decent time out of it, but you're going to have to cruise around to get that. That's gone back up to 15 now. Guess we've got more current draw with more motors. And to be fair, this battery, it's not the newest of batteries. Yeah, GPS data showing on the screen, although you can't see that, unfortunately. No jello in the feed, but it's a dull day. You're not going to get any jello with this mount. No chance. All other quadcopter and hexacopter makers, take note of how they have mounted the camera. This is how to do it. 14.7 volts, 3 minutes in. There's some blue sky around, but wrong direction, it's over there. We ain't gonna catch that. It'd be interesting to see if the Insta360 One R captures the props in shot. Can hear some battery abuse going on around me. So if you want to see how far these can go, check out my Chimera review the iFlight one. Don't necessarily want to take this one out because I'm on Crossfire and I haven't really pushed the boundaries with Crossfire. I'm only running at 100 milliwatts as well on Crossfire because I don't want my battery to run out in the Radio Master. So yeah, definitely not gonna get as long a flight time here. We're at 14.4 volts and 4.5 minutes, so yeah. What they need to do is put the updates that they've done to this on the LR4, get that GPS working properly. So I think if I was to pick one, I'd go with the LR4, I think. But, you know, this is interesting with these 6 propellers. See, more motors, more problems, you know. More propellers that can break, more motors to replace if they break. But it's still cool. So the settings that I have got here on the DJI Vista is I've got it on high quality mode and focus mode off. It's getting a little bit blocky behind these trees here. Down to 19 megabits, so I'm in the 25 megabit option, and that is purely because I'm flying with Phil here. And it's just easier to fly with other people when you have got more channels. No problem. So just coming up to 6.5 minutes. It's not bad actually, you know. It's not flying as long as the LR4. You know, you could get 8 to 10 minutes with that one. 8 minutes doing like crazy freestyle all of the time. And 10 minutes just chilling. Looks like we're just gonna get 7 minutes because I'm at 14 volts here. 14.1, it's gone back up. I have just been cruising. With a little bit of freestyle as well. And a couple of power runs. That's 14 volts there. 13.9, so 7 minutes. That is your lot. So there you go, that is my review of the Flywoo LR4 Hex. I'll put a link in the video description if you wish to get one. And as always, thanks so much for watching. Please continue to subscribe. Cheers.